Welcome back. Today we're going to hopefully address one of life's big mysteries. Can you make yourself a delicious pizza on the BBQ wood-fired grill? So as you can see here, what I've done is I've pre-made some dough. Just having a quick whiz through of the ingredients that we've got. Not the best filming because you can't see most of them, but as you would expect, we've got some tomato for our base, we've got our cheese, and then we've got a couple of other toppings which I'll have a quick whiz around later on in the video. So the big challenge for me, as I see it, is getting your pizza onto your grill. You want the grill nice and hot when you put your pizza on there for it to crisp up, and the more toppings you put on, the more difficult that's going to be to carry over, the thicker your dough needs to be to stop everything falling through the bottom. So I'm pleased to say this was attempt number one, and yes, it was successful. There was no magical editing. I did eat it. It was delicious. So in answer to the question at the start of the video, whilst I'd like to keep you in suspense and keep you viewing it right to the end, well, I think we know which road we're going down. So yeah, made the dough heavily floured board so that we've got that on the bottom so that the dough doesn't stick to it. And then what I'm going to do is transfer that onto one of the silicone chopping boards just to make the transfer as easy as possible, because I don't have a pizza paddle. So getting the pizza from A to B is going to be the trickiest part. And my plan is to kind of cook that first just to crisp it and then top the pizza. Hopefully then no accidents. So we're outside through the magic of editing on said board. The ingredients you can see in the background, so that we're gonna then be ready to add our food to the grill. So it's done its warm-up cycle. We're talking probably 5 minutes, and then on we go with the pizza dough. So I know on the other videos that I saw, I thought it was a bit suspect that you didn't see people putting the dough on, but honestly, it's quite tricky with one hand. I'm filming myself here, so I can assure you that I was able to pick the dough up actually off the board and put it onto the grill. And as I said, the plan was originally that I was going to get the dough and put it back onto, well, the wind's just blowing it away, back onto the silicone board, top the pizza, put it back on the grill, lid down, to get all that delicious melted cheese and the flavour. Obviously, we've got some raw onion there that we could really do with a bit of cooking. So as it went through, obviously, because it is up to quite a hot temperature, it's quite important that I kept a close eye on it, which I did. So from start to finish, it was probably only about on there for 1-2 minutes. So you can see my ingredient board there. We've got onion, ham, cheese, and some southern fried chicken. No brand names needed. So there we go. Let's just have a look at how we're getting on. So you can see it's already starting to crisp. That's looking good. It's not sticking. Excellent. So at this point, I'm thinking, why move it, top it, and move it again? I could just top the pizza on camera, which again is quite tricky to do when you're filming. So there'll be a bit of magical editing after I just spread this lovely tomato base around. Obviously, while I'm doing this, the base is still crisping up, so the dough is probably a little bit thicker than I would normally like, because you don't want it to be really tough. And actually this was really delicious, as I say, but probably could have gone a bit thinner, but then I would have had transport issues. I made a bit of a mess here with the sauce splashing around the grill, as you can see, but it did clean up really well because it's not stuck to it. So through the magic of editing, we've got what I would call a quite generously topped pizza. The base is still browning away quite nicely there. We pop the lid down and give it a couple of minutes to weave its ninja magic. And I've got to say, at this point, I was amazed that nothing had gone wrong. I was fully expecting to be picking pieces of pizza off on the floor, or to have basically molten lava cheese dripping everywhere. and spend twice as much time cleaning up as I did actually making the pizza. As it turned out, because it had been floured and it's on a flat griddle pan, it literally rinsed off about a minute afterwards. You can see the dog is quite interested there at the bottom of the picture. He's liking the smells and looking to see what's coming out, what he can nibble on. But I was that tidy. Unfortunately, there wasn't any. He did try a bit later on. I'm not that mean. Okay, so although the timer shows 10 minutes, that's because it's on grill and that presets to 16 minutes for a pizza is going to incinerate it. So yeah, I was keeping a close eye on this. I obviously did want the lid down, and I didn't use the smoker for once. I thought they'd try it without it. I probably will try one with a light smoke just to see how it goes. So it's cooked. I've turned it off. So we're talking no more than 3 minutes from start to finish once it's done the preheat. And that's a pretty generous sized pizza. This was for two. I'm not that greedy. And look at that base. That is just what you want to see from a wood-fired pizza. Obviously the smoky would, of the smoker, the pellets would have added a smoky base. But I think with the wood-fired pizzas, I think it's the texture. I think that's what makes it, really. You can't go wrong with a pizza. You get your dough, put some toppings on that you like. How could it go wrong? So, as we expected, yes, it is possible. I'm not trying to put anybody off buying a Ninja oven that's specifically for pizza, and I can see they can cook other delicious stuff on there, but it is possible with what you've got already.